Hello everyone and welcome to the History of CES MMA Volume 3. Tonight we take a look at some of the future stars of not only CES MMA, but of the UFC as well. Let's start things off with CES MMA's first ever super fight. It was April 3rd, 2012 at CES MMA Never Surrender. The newly crowned CES MMA middleweight champ, Rhode Island fan favorite Todd "The Hulk" Chattelle defends his title against the then seven-time UFC veteran, the challenger, John Doomsday Howard.
For this highly anticipated main event.
Here we go.
Round number one underway. Todd "The Hulk" Chattelle, John Doomsday Howard for the CES MMA middleweight title.
Todd's coming out early, establishing that jab. Doomsday with the rear leg kick. Chattelle throwing that nice 1-2 combination. Left hook off it.
Chattelle letting his hands go early.
Todd's working that double jab. Doomsday covered up. Right uppercut to the body that kind of caught the elbow. The left hook was blocked well. But Todd's definitely active and busy. Double left hook.
Doomsday's defended well thus far. Todd unleashed him, but Doomsday has blocked most of what he's had to throw. Again, blocking that one. Keeping his hands high.
There's a switch lead leg kick. Todd again prodding, trying to keep that distance, trying to keep John off. Nice rear leg by Doomsday. Again, Todd with the jab. Straight right hand and the left hook that just missed on him. Again, you see what Doomsday's hands are up high.
Yes.
He knows he's going to have to get touched up a little bit to get inside on that.
We'll see if Chattelle counters and goes to the body to try to drop those hands.
Again, the rear leg from Doomsday. Jab hook off that. Big left hook and right uppercut by Doomsday that missed. He's having a hard time finding the distance. Overhand right by Chattelle and the left hook.
You can definitely see the improvement in Chattelle's stand-up game, letting his hands fly, working with 401 boxing.
You can see him moving on his feet, little in and out, little bounce on his toes, establishing that jab. And there's John Howard just moving just ever so slightly to avoid the full impact of those punches.
Very strong defensively thus far for Doomsday Howard. Not absorbing most of what Chattelle's
Nice
throwing.
rear leg.
And coming back with those rear leg kicks. He's landed several in this opening round. 2:58 to go.
And you notice what John doesn't keep his back against the fence, no matter what, even with Chattelle coming forward. And again, right to the cover. Chattelle working inside, overhand. Both guys mixing it up well. Straight right left hook and a left hook answered by Doomsday.
Nice counter by Doomsday with the left hook. Chattelle sneaking in a couple of those jabs. Doomsday unfazed thus far. 2.5 to go in round number one. And again, that left jab.
Establishing his distance, establishing, it's more or less like there he is, and then here it comes with something. Where John's taking that rear leg, that's going to take the jab away later rounds. He's not going to be able to stay on that foot.
He's answering each jab with a rear leg kick.
What I like from Todd is he lightly's touching and then he's coming with the big shot. Finding his distance.
Done a nice job setting him up, but Doomsday's defense has been very good thus far in round number one.
Nice 1-2 coming forward. Left hook by Doomsday. Double jab. Somebody lost a mouthpiece.
I believe it was Chattelle.
You see the show of respect for each other. The guys slap hands. Okay, no big deal. We got it. You know, there's no malice. These guys both want to win. Both these guys, make no mistake about it, they're trying to take each other's head off. But there's still a mutual respect there.
That loose mouthpiece, a byproduct of those left hooks by John Howard. A couple landed.
I would imagine so.
Something Chattelle will have to be cautious of as this fight progresses.
Rear leg again by Howard.
Howard's done a nice job with it. Chattelle trying to answer. Certainly more sharpness to Howard's rear leg kicks than Chattelle's at this point.
Double jab by Howard gets inside. Good counters by Chattelle. Oh, there's
good right hand from Howard.
Right hand, left hook, it landed. And there's Todd smartly jabbing off it. And that's good movement.
As soon as they got close, Howard shortened up a bit and landed a couple of nice shots, and Chattelle wisely backed out, now trying to reestablish that jab. You got to keep your distance, and he's trying to do so. Howard catches that hook, and there's the takedown. just under a minute to go in the opening round. The first significant break in the action here as Doomsday scores the first takedown of the bout.
Well, John's been here a ton, and so's Todd.
Sure.
So these guys both right now, Todd's really locking him down, keeping his posture by controlling his head. The guard's closed, so he's looking to stall.
Ribcage open and Doomsday taking advantage.
Now this is where Doomsday's side comes into play. Being the smaller fighter, he's going to be able to have a better base. He's going to have shorter punches.
Chattelle kicking out, but Howard relentless.
Shoots right back inside to half.
And I agree, those shorter punches make a difference. He doesn't have to wind up as much.
Exactly. And this is where John Howard is tenacious. You've seen him a ton in the UFC, just keeping a guy there and making him pay.
Closing seconds of
Todd
round
doing
one.
a good job of not allowing him to take his back there.
Yeah, good defense. That could have gone ugly even with 10 seconds.
And that's the round. Great
that is
round.
Number one. And so far, so good, as expected in this main event between Todd the Hulk Chattelle and Doomsday Howard. Well, really, the majority of that round, Scott, both fighters feeling each other out. Chattelle using the jab, letting his hands fly. Doomsday responding with those rear leg kicks. Late in the round, he caught Chattelle, got the takedown.
Exactly. You know, it's funny. Right now, any butterflies Todd might have had about, fighting John and his status, they're out the window. We're in a fight right now, and you saw Todd settle into that. You saw Doomsday where he didn't want to take that jab too much longer and did a nice takedown. I mean, again, with the scoring we've seen tonight, how do you score that round?
It's tough. Again, we have seen different trends from different judges. Some who prefer the striking, some who prefer the ground game and the takedowns. Round one is in the books. We're getting ready for round number two of this main event. The CES MMA middleweight title on the line. Todd the Hulk Chattelle in the camouflage trunks and John Doomsday Howard in the black trunks. Here we go, round number two.
Touching hands, and here we go again. Todd comes right back to the jab.
Trying to reestablish the same pace he had in round number one. Working the body a bit there, at least an attempt to do so.
What Todd wants to do is to maintain what he's doing with the jab and staying nice and loose with his hands, but not standing directly in front of John Doomsday Howard. You want to jab off to one side or another. There's how John got his distance. Double and triple jabbing his way in, left hook right cross. By Doomsday, slowed him right down. But there's Todd right there in the mix.
I agree, at short distances, it appears Doomsday has the slight edge. When the fight's at a distance, you can see Chattelle.
Two double right hands by Chattelle, backing Howard right up. That's it. He's in exchange. And what John Howard's doing is he's defending very well. Nice, smart knee by Chattelle.
I agree.
When his hands are up nice and high, he really went to the body. Rather than throwing an uppercut, he used the knee. Because what Doomsday's doing is he's keeping his hands up to protect, to get in deep enough.
It was the knee that caused the cut that eventually ended the Woody Weatherby fight.
That's true, yeah.
And Chattelle looking for a similar result there, but Doomsday at least deflected the majority of it, but a good timing on Chattelle's part there.
Nice rear leg. That was a heavy rear leg.
Doomsday has delivered many of those thus far.
And you see Todd smartly moving to his right, staying away from the rear leg in the right hand. Another rear leg by Howard. Answered by inside leg kick by Chattelle. Nice job, and then the jab off. Circle to the right, smart. You see how John leaped in with that left hook to stop him from doing that. These are the very educated fighters you're having there right now.
We're seeing the strategy really play out thus far in the first round.
Big right hand. Doomsday shook it off, but he felt it. Here's an uppercut from Howard.
Nice inside game by Doomsday Howard, fighting straight up the middle. It's tough to stand toe-to-toe. And Chattelle certainly doesn't want any part of that. Trying to reestablish that jab. Again, the rear leg kick. He's worked it.
Nice 1-2, straight punches. Todd's throwing some really good straight punches. They're not, calls me a liar by looping right hand, but there it is again. Right down the middle, and you see him just shoot right in for that takedown.
Really caught Chattelle off balance, I think.
He waited for the end of the combination. What John's doing by keeping his hands up is he's being able to come inside and gauge his distance. If Chattelle's touching me and I'm defending, I can shoot. I'm one step away.
It seems as though he might have lulled him to sleep a bit, and he went for the takedown, similar to what Chattelle tried to do with the knee earlier.
He's looking for the guillotine here. Howard's got the over.
2:08 to go in round number 2.
I don't know if John's got his hands together. He might.
He's got to do a better job defending this. Chattelle.
Nice job with the knee coming up. And look at shot off.
Perfectly. Exactly.
Great job by the champion coming up off the canvas like that.
Chattelle,
that's the distance.
Howard rather now working inside.
Both men working close. If you are not enjoying this fight, you do not like MMA.
This has been spectacular. As good as advertised so far. 1:40 to go in round number 2.
Both guys just laying it on the line. Look at these punches from Howard. 90 seconds left in the round, and again with the second takedown.
And that's what happens when I think when Chattelle gets his back too close to the cage, nowhere to go.
That's the point. Yeah, too close to the cage. It's just a quick shot to the cage. Todd needs to defend here.
Got to be careful. Doomsday's throwing some unanswered blows.
He's really opening up right now.
His hands
He's going for that guillotine again.
Yeah.
You see how he cups the chin to try to pull his head down as well.
Exactly.
Short elbows. John's very proficient with these. Todd doing a good job of turning inside, trying to get inside those shots. Todd trying desperately to get back to his feet, under a minute in the round.
Yeah, he caught a fast uppercut that kind of stalled his progress, and now Doomsday back on top, reestablishing his position.
Yeah, we have a cut underneath, I think. It's just under Todd's right eye.
40 seconds to go in round number 2.
Doomsday now crawling his way up to mount. He's got Todd mounted. 30 seconds, what's he going to be able to do with it? He might be able to finish from here.
If Chattelle's not answering, it's going to be tough.
Todd needs to buck up. He needs to work his base. He's going to stop this fight.
22 seconds is
He's
a lot
going to stop this fight. He's telling him, give me something to do, change positions.
If he doesn't do something,
that's it. We have a new champion, CES.
John Doomsday Howard comes to Rhode Island and takes the belt from Todd the Hulk Chattelle. And just as we called it, way too much time on the clock, not enough in response from Todd Chattelle. Once John Doomsday got the mount position, that was all she wrote. And you see the veteran presence, you see Doomsday, what he's done so many times in his career.
Next, we take a look at another UFC veteran, Drew the Master Thickett. He made his CES MMA debut at CES MMA 22, and his opponent, none other than the Rockstar himself, a future CES MMA lightweight champion, Louis Rockstar Felix.
Thickett takes the middle of the cage immediately.
Thickett in the red trunks with the checker down the side. Felix in the white and blue. And again, Scott, no stage too big for Louis Felix. He's always stepped up and fought his best against the toughest opponents.
Yeah, you know, he needs that push. He needs to know that there's a lot on the line, and I think that brings him to his highest level.
And certainly when he hears people say that this particular fighter is better than him or he is overmatched in this fight, that definitely gives him that extra motivation to go out there and prove everyone wrong. And so far, in those big fights, he's done just that.
Yeah, I understand where that comes from.
Thickett trying to establish that jab early on.
Even if it just turns Louis to his right hand. Again, we have the southpaw orthodox fighter going on. And Drew, so much the veteran. He throws a left hook knowing he's not going to land it, but it's going to move Louis into his right hand, and there's the straight right hand. So even by throwing the jab and not landing, even by being short with it, even by throwing the hook and not having it land flush, he's moving Louis into his right hand, and that's what he wants to do.
Now, Felix is known for his wrestling, Scott, but he's worked on his boxing through the years. He finally has a boxing coach. It's now to the point where he almost works on the stand-up more so than the wrestling, and actually would like to keep the fight at stand-up, where that wasn't always the case in the past.
Well, you know, if that's what Louis's main interest is, then I say do it. It's one of those things when you have a good harness on something, you should be looking to go to your weaknesses and strengthen those. And I think that's what Louis is trying to become, is a very solid all-around fighter, and I think he's well on his way. Nice straight left hand by Louis. Nice counter by Felix there.
Nice job by Luis Felix to counter that.
That kick snuck in. You can see how Luis lowered his left hand a little bit. That body kick by Thickett snuck in. Now that's going to be what you see for most of the night, is those unorthodox misses when you have a southpaw. You heard the knock when he kicked him in that cup. It's like someone knocking on your front door right there.
That's not the kind of visit you want.
Although we should see it again. I mean, just to be sure and on the safe side.
I think we all know what happened, Scott. Hate to spoil the party for you. Felix will get an opportunity to.
You know that birthday? You know that birthday card you were asking for?
There it is.
I love you, Fight Stream. Oh!
All right, action resumes in round number 1, just under 3 minutes. About 2:15 to go. Thickett, Felix, in the lightweight main event here at CES MMA 22. I am Mike Parenti, of course, joined by my broadcast partner, Scott Ream.
Loving this tonight, my friend.
Another action-packed card. We just saw John Johnson take home the CES MMA Heavyweight Championship.
First heavyweight title ever.
Nice right hand by Felix. Working the angles real well here, Scott, early on.
Yeah, both fighters out, to tell you the truth. Nice counter by Felix. Now that's one nice straight right hand by Felix. That's one thing that Felix does very, very well is switch his stance. Drew looked for the takedown there, and Luis did a great job of stuffing that takedown and now making Drew pay for it.
Just driving those knees into the body. Felix incredibly aggressive. As Thickett has his back to the cage, now he distanced himself a bit. Fight goes back toward the center. 1:14 to go in round number 1, scheduled 3.
Rear leg kick landed, but that was mostly foot. That's why you heard the slap and not the thud. Nice teep there by Luis, and Thickett counters with that. Thickett's really throwing that rear leg to the head. There must be something he sees. Maybe he thinks Lewis's guard is a little low.
You're right, he's gone to that well a number of times in round 1.
Overhand right by Luis. The first one landed, the second one missed. Thickett immediately clinches and Luis goes to knees.
And the minute that he has had Thickett against that cage on 2 occasions, just progressively working those knees.
Oh, there's one to the groin again. Unfortunate, but
right at the bell.
No, there should be 3 or 4 seconds left.
Thickett saved by the bell at the end of round number 1. Good start here, good action. A great pace in this opening round between Luis Felix and Drew Thickett. Both fighters really just trying to feel one another out on their feet in that opening round. No takedowns, nothing to speak of yet. But a good job by Luis Felix. I thought was aggressive early on.
I have to agree. And you know, you see who's in his corner right now, and you're listening to Jorge Rivera tell him what's going on. Seasoned veteran himself.
And of course, to his right is his boxing coach, Vic Facton, who worked with amateur standout Anthony Marcella Jr. at the start of his career. So that's where he's getting the boxing tutelage from. He's been working with him for the past 2 years and has called that a blessing in his life.
Oh, you can see it in his hands right now.
Absolutely. You see a big difference from his early fights in his career to where he is now. It's a definite improvement. It's almost night and day. All right, Thickett appears okay. Both fighters actually landing low blows in round number 1. Now round number 2 underway here at Twin River Casino. CES MMA 22. Mike Parenti joined by my broadcast partner Scott Ream, and we are in the main event. Now Thickett gets the early takedown. Felix pops right back up and right back to his feet.
Did a great job right there, yep.
Absolutely. Felix never gave Thickett an opportunity to do any damage on the ground, gets right back to his feet, back into that stand-up where he's been incredibly comfortable the last few years since working with his new boxing coach. He's made a tremendous impact on the progression of his career.
Well, you can see it. It's his footwork, too. His balance is very good. That's why, that was the main reason why that takedown didn't take effect. His feet were underneath him, and he was able to respond when he saw the shot. Good defense. Thickett lands a really nice single attempt. Lewis doing a good job of fighting it off. Thickett has the leg between the legs, and now he's out.
Felix stuffs that one. Thickett's certainly giving it the old college try, trying to get Felix to his back. Bit of a stalemate there, but Felix now turns him around.
He did a great job right there. See Thickett looking for your jump guard, looking for your guillotine here. Now he's letting it go, but he might try to hold on to that guillotine. Lewis doing a nice job protecting his neck.
Felix doesn't look like in any apparent danger here.
What Felix is doing is he's pressing. He's pressing against the cage. I saw Drew Thickett mouthing something to Kevin, the referee. Kevin McDonald, I was trying to catch it.
Felix trying to pull that left arm down. Now he flips
nice
back
right hand off the break by Felix.
And now toe-to-toe again. Rear leg kick to the midsection by Felix. Just under 3 minutes to go in round number 2.
Oh, that's the fight right there. That was brutal. That was brutal.
Knockout of the night and maybe knockout of the year. Luis Felix with the left kick knocks Drew Thickett out, and that is it. It's all over. What a finish.
That was one of the most brutal head kicks I've ever seen. That was not your foot. That was Luis Felix's shin clean across the neck of Drew Thickett. And that was the first time that Luis threw that head kick from his rear leg. Ridiculous.
Unbelievable finish at CES MMA 22. Luis Felix, third time beating a UFC vet, no doubt the biggest win of his career in the most dramatic fashion, knocking Drew Thickett cold with the rear leg kick to the head.
Absolutely amazing.
That is unbelievable. Felix hops over the cage into the stands to celebrate. Unbelievable finish. And we're going to take a look at it right now. Almost out of nowhere, throws the left hand, and there it is. And he knew it as soon as he landed. Thickett is out cold. Kevin McDonald stops it. Here's another angle. Thickett drops that right hand, and there it is, right to the side of the neck. And that is all she wrote. Luis Felix, in dramatic fashion, the biggest win of his career, knocking out 7-time UFC veteran Drew Thickett here at the main event of CES MMA 22. What a way to finish here at Twin River Casino. That's unbelievable. Thickett never saw it coming, and quite honestly, nobody up here saw it coming either. I don't know if anybody in the crowd saw it coming, but Felix saw something when Thickett dropped that right hand, and he unloaded. And again, without question, the knockout of the night, and quite possibly the knockout of the year. It'll be tough to top that one on any future shows. So Luis Felix gets the win, knocking out Drew Thickett in round number 2 of this scheduled 3-round bout. And here's one more look. Thickett again, a little bit lazy, dropping that right hand, and there it is. Felix went down as he lands the kick. And that's it. And one more time, you see how it lands on the side of the neck. And as Scott Reed pointed out,
While veterans from the past were looking to make a name for themselves at CES MMA, a new crop of stars made their way as well, like another future CES MMA lightweight champ, Nate the Snake Andrews.
all right, round number 1, featherweight showdown. Nate Andrews, Pedro da Silva.
You see Nate's in a southpaw stance. He's got a much longer reach, so he's parring out with that right hand, trying to corral him to his left. It'll be a battle of lead feet. who gets their foot on the outside of the others.
Nate in the white and green trunks, Pedro with the black trunks, Brazilian colors on the left leg.
Both men will joust for the outside foot. When you're fighting a left-handed fighter, if you're a right-handed fighter, you want your lead leg outside his. Wow, that was a tough collision and a really awkward but strong takedown.
Dual flying knees, it seemed, and they both kind of landed midair. And now De Silva on top.
He has a pin against the cage too from side control, and Nate's trying to replace to half. And he looks like he did, and he might actually have full. He might have got recovered guard. Yes, he has. Nice job. Again, off his back, Nate is controlling the head so he can't posture, so Pedro can't posture and allow those big shots to come down.
So to keep that head on the lip, on the bottom of the cage. De Silva trying to press the issue, trying to land some rights. Nate just pushing that right arm down.
What he's trying to do is he's trying to throw up a triangle. Now he's got some space to get up.
Nice job getting up and avoiding that kick.
And it looks like
now Nate trying to get a takedown possibly here. De Silva just putting up tremendous resistance.
And he took him down
Another
hard.
takedown.
Yeah, Nate looked like he was going for a guillotine and didn't defend the takedown. But again, he's in full guard right now. He's got head control and he's throwing elbows off his back to his head. Nice job there.
Smart move by Andrews, dropping those elbows.
Something very underused off your back. He's already cut him with just the two of those elbows you've seen him throw.
Right on the top of the head, similar to the Bakanowski fight.
Yeah, Bakanowski, I go back to Kenny Florian, off his back would cut people wide open with him. You see Nate trying to work a butterfly sweep, he just needs to sit up a little bit more. A couple more of those elbows off his back will create some space.
It sure will. We'll see if Andrews can get some space.
As we spoke of earlier, if you have a closed guard, you can't move your hips. If you see here, Nate has 1 foot on Pedro's hip, and his guard's wide open. He's trying to work submissions here. He's trying to work a high guard, staying active, forcing Pedro to control him and expend the energy rather than just lie there in a closed guard. He's trying for that triangle. He tried to throw it up. Pedro, there's the sweep. Beautiful scissor sweep to mount. Pedro left himself wide open for that by staying flat for too long. Couple of short elbows by Nate. Nate looks to take his back via a body lock.
Big shift here in momentum, Scott. If he can get that arm under, he's close.
He's got the body lock, very hard to turn over in. Nate.
Santos is just very, De Silva rather, is very elusive on the ground.
He is. Now, he's trying to turn. When you have the body lock, it prevents you from turning all the way over. That's why he has so much control. Body lock back to mount, and it's kind of a mounted body lock. Now he rolls it back to his back.
Now, Scott.
He does have it underneath. He just needs to extend his hips. There it is.
1:15 to go in his pro debut. Nate Andrews turns the tide late in the opening round and gets the submission. Great transition, great turnaround for Nate the Snake, and he is a winner in his pro debut.
That's phenomenal transition game. Great jiu-jitsu. Yeah, you see Timmy Burrell and you see Pete Jeffries. That's fantastic jiu-jitsu.
In 2013, CES MMA also opened the doors to future female stars of the sport, including Fall River, Massachusetts' own Kaylee the Dark Angel Medeiros, shown here against the ever-tough Bridget Narcisse.
And fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 120 pounds, with a professional record of 8 wins, 5 losses, with 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Fall River, Massachusetts, ladies and gentlemen, Kaylee the Dark Angel Medeiros. Your referee is Dan Bergliotta.
Mike Parenti and Scott Ream, cage side from Twin River Casino. It's CES MMA 24. We move to the
a vicious
flyweights.
head kick right off the bat. The ladies don't touch gloves. Caitlin eats the head kick, and here we go. Sorry, Michael.
Bridget Narcisse comes out flying, lands the head kick on Kaylee Medeiros, and we're underway in this flyweight bout. No stop whatsoever in the action here, Scott. And Kaylee Medeiros comes in. She's got 5 fights on her resume. This is Narcisse's pro debut at 43 years young, which you can relate to, having made your debut at 39.
I absolutely can relate to. She's right into mount. She's got Caitlin flat on her back, and she's dropping some vicious elbows as we speak.
2 big elbows from Narcisse right off the bat as she gets Medeiros down to the cage.
Nice reversal. But we're looking at a triangle. Looks like that triangle is sunk pretty well, although Caitlin's doing a good job of relieving the pressure and stacking at the moment. Bridget does seem to be, I can't quite tell from this angle, I need to move here and see if that foot is, nope, that foot's not underneath her knee. She needs to try to pull that foot underneath her knee to get better leverage here. She's trying to adjust it now. But Caitlin's doing a great job by stacking her weight up, not allowing her to get that foot locked in and taking the pressure off her neck. Here comes the slam that Caitlin's so well known for. Bridget did a nice job riding that out. Her foot is not underneath her knee, and Kaytlin should be able to get free, and she does.
Now Narcisse gets back to her feet. We're back in the center of the cage. 3:13 to go in round number 1. And rather than describe the trunk colors, let's just say Medeiros has the blue mohawk and Bridget Narcisse does not.
That's quite simple. Nice overhand right, just a little short by Bridget.
Medeiros, a late bloomer herself, she comes into this fight at 35, but does have 5 fights on her resume, and won her last bout in October, which was her CES MMA debut against Rachel Sazov. She won that fight by unanimous decision.
Spinning back fist was short by Bridget. I think both the ladies gained a little respect for each other. Nice straight right hand by Bridget. Kaytlin loading up that right hand like a haymaker.
There is some bad intentions behind every punch from Kaylee Medeiros. She winds up for everything she throws.
Reached down to Newport for that one. Nice little flying knee.
Yeah, flying knee attempt.
Kaytlin's strength is evident in the tie clinch here, and she's dirty boxing.
Tremendous action here in round number 1. 2 minutes to go. Kaylee Medeiros, Bridget Narcisse in the flyweight division.
Bridget's already getting welted up just a little bit here from those punches from Kaytlin. And you can see where she's snapping that jab out short on purpose just to try to keep Kaytlin at bay.
Medeiros inactive since October, mainly due to a knee injury.
Kaytlin keeps that right hand in her pocket. There's your uppercuts, a couple of quick over-unders and a roundhouse. Bridget shoots right down, but Kaytlin's strength is just something else for this weight group. Nice knee, second knee, tie clinch in place by Medeiros. An attempted step over sweep by Bridget, that didn't work. But the tie plum, Medeiros is so strong in the clinch.
Medeiros doing a nice job mixing some uppercuts, going into the body, going upstairs. And you're right, Scott, she does keep that right hand in her pocket. Every punch coming right from the hip. And now 2 overhand rights, sneaks in a left hand. Nice exchange again in the center of the cage. Final minute here in round number 1. All action from the opening bell.
I think Kaytlin surprised herself by throwing the left hand, never mind both of us.
Another spinning back fist attempt by Narcisse. Comes up short.
I mean, although she's been short with it twice, I do like the way she's mixing it up. Bridget needs to work in off that jab, come behind that jab with something. She's throwing the jab short, but she's running into her punches. Nice takedown by Bridget. Last 10 seconds of the round.
Yeah, potential great way to close out the final round. It's been back and forth, Scott. That could really help Narcisse.
That could definitely seal the deal here.
Final seconds here. We saw a small cut open up over Narcisse's left eye.
See how her corner handles that.
And that's the end of round number 1. Great start to this highly anticipated flyweight bout. The return of Kaylee Medeiros and, of course, the pro debut of Bridget Narcisse. Let's listen in. Well, you saw Narcisse's corner work on that cut in between rounds. There was a small welt just opening up above her left eye. No doubt courtesy of those right hands by Kaylee Medeiros.
Well, she only threw that one left, so I think you're right about the right hands, Mike.
Round 2 underway in this flyweight bout. Bridget Narcisse and Kaylee Medeiros. We are live cage side. Mike Parenti joined by Scott Reams, CES MMA 24. Great action here in this bout thus far, Scott. Kaylee Medeiros in the black and gold trunks, Narcisse in the skirt.
Beautiful looping right hand landed flush on the chin by Caitlin.
And that one caught her attention. Narcisse definitely ate that one on the way in. And a nice knee on the way up as Narcisse gets to her feet. Another big right.
That was caught her right on the temple, caught Bridget on the temple. Now Bridget's doing a good job of trying to sweep to get up, and Caitlin looks like she might let her up.
Oh, Narcisse tries to get that single leg right there at the ankle.
And she nailed it. She does have it if she drives forward. Caitlin's looking to muscle this and throw her over.
You can hear those right hands just pummeling against Narcisse's rib cage. And now the
beautiful
uppercut.
Right hand there.
And again, Medeiros just unloading. Narcisse trying to fend her off, and I think Medeiros may let her get to her feet. Now both fighters back up in the center of the cage. 3:40 to go in round number 2.
I'm not quite sure what that was.
It looked like an attempted takedown that just was sort of aborted. Yeah, midway through.
Well, that's what happens when you don't set it up. Knee to the body, great job by Caitlin there. Caitlin is really ripping those body shots, and once again, her size and strength for this division is a bit overwhelming to most of the ladies.
And again, those right uppercuts right from the hip, Scott, catching Narcisse on the way in. Medeiros done a great job letting her hands go. Narcisse is stood in there, though, to her credit. She can certainly take a punch.
Oh, she's tough as they come. She's game. She's fighting back. She's just taking too many punches right now.
And
too many clean punches.
Yeah, and again, Narcisse goes down. And again, Medeiros just hovering, circling like a vulture. Narcisse will again get to her feet. Medeiros is very comfortable in stand-up, Scott, so she certainly doesn't mind this spot right here.
I'd like to see Bridget throw that lead leg to her head, to Caitlin's head with that right hand. There's a straight right hand that caught Caitlin's attention because her hands are down again in her pockets. Now Caitlin brings her hands up after getting tagged. But that right hand drifts slower and slower to the ground. A left hook or a lead left leg. Bridget Narcisse is doing a good job off her back. She's just taking too much punishment in the process.
1:45 to go now in round number 2. And again, Narcisse is trying to make her way back to her feet. Medeiros will let her up again. Wait for her spot and let her hands go again.
But you see how Narcisse comes in, she steps in, walks in, feet almost parallel.
Leaves herself wide open, she's squared up.
It's a karate or a taekwondo type thing. Just, it's not the best concept for MMA.
Nice takedown by Narcisse here in the final minute and a half. And again, 2 late round takedowns by Narcisse in this fight. Interesting strategy. 1:10 to go here in the second round.
Narcisse goes knee on belly to mount. This is very interesting. Fantastic job. Shows you how much Narcisse is in this fight. Suffering the most damage to this point, but look at this. In the mount, throwing strikes, dropping elbows.
And now she's giving some of the damage back, Scott. The hammer fists and elbows, lefts and rights.
Nice right hand to the jaw. Nice elbow, nice left elbow.
All of a sudden, Medeiros finds herself in a tough spot here in these final 30 seconds. Again for the second consecutive round, Scott, right toward the end.
Narcisse could be still in this round.
And it's entirely possible she's done it twice in the first 2 rounds. 22 seconds to go. Narcisse still letting her hands go. Medeiros is trying to defend herself.
Beautiful elbows, trying to clear the hands away. She's got a very high mount. She's borderline on an S mount here.
These are landing too, Scott.
Caitlin's doing a good job. She tried for S mount in that manner and had to pull back off it. Nice elbows when she switched to the side. 2
big elbows right to the forehead at the end of the round. What a way to close it out for Bridget Narcisse. And again, Scott, she may have stolen this round.
And Narcisse thinks the fight's over, but you got another round left.
Well, certainly taking every effort, every ounce of energy on her part. Let's listen into Medeiros' corner.
Okay, he got probably more than you. Guess what? Hold on, let me talk 1 second. This is why you're here. This is the Are you gonna do this in the 5th round? Can you fight for 5 more minutes for me? You're killing this girl. You see how tired she is? Do everything you do. Just stay off the cage for me, okay? That's all I need. Stay off the cage. You got it.
Take a nice deep breath, Kaylee. Another one. That's it. Another one. Another one. That's it. That's it. Relax, relax. That's it. That's it. A little bit of water. One shot. Good.
The Triforce MMA team in Kaylee Medeiros' corner, William Sukumta, Pete, and Keith Jeffrey telling her, listen, you're winning this fight. However, Scott, you can certainly make the case that Narcisse's strikes toward the end of round 2 may have been more damaging than anything Medeiros landed throughout that round.
Well, you heard Pete Jeffrey say you're killing this girl. In a matter of physical speaking, yes,
Sure.
she is getting the worst of it. But quite honestly, she could be winning this fight, meaning Bridget could be winning both rounds.
Round 3 underway, 3rd and final round in this flyweight bout. Bridget Narcisse taking on Kaylee Medeiros. Mike Parenti and Scott Ream cage side. Nice right hand to open up by Medeiros.
That right hand is on her hip. Caitlin's hip, I mean. Now, Pete Jeffries asked her to stay off the cage, and she fought very well to get off it.
Pete Jeffrey also pointing out in between rounds, look how tired Narcisse is, and you certainly saw that at the end of round 2.
Nice right hand by Narcisse there.
Doesn't look tired there,
Double
lands a
jab.
right. It's been non-stop from the opening bell.
Nice little hip throw there, but she wound up on her back.
Now Medeiros in a good spot here early in the 3rd and final round. Hard to say how those first 2 rounds might have went on the scorecard. As close as can be in this fight, as we expected. Crowd trying to urge on Kaylee Medeiros, the hometown favorite. Still plenty of time, 3.5 to go. Referee Dan Miragliata watching closely, making sure there's some action at the very least, but Kaylee Medeiros is doing enough to keep herself in the spot, working those rights and lefts of the body.
You can see Bridget where she's trying to stop Caitlin from posturing by grabbing the back of her head and keeping her head pinned to her chest. That's so she doesn't get too much power on the punches. Caitlin's so strong, even the short ones we can hear from here.
Yeah, from this spot, Scott, with her head pulled right toward her chest, Kaylee can only really do anything other than just land to the midsection. If she's able to pop up, it's a different story, and that's what Narcisse is trying to defend. 2.5 to go in the fight. Now Medeiros goes back upstairs, but consistently working the body with the lefts and rights. There you see it from this angle, right to the rib cage. At the very least, Medeiros is controlling this round. That's what's important when you have a close fight on the cards. Right and a left upstairs, then right back to the body from Medeiros. Just trying to soften up the defense of Bridget Narcisse in this final round. Trying to do something to gain the upper hand. Narcisse is trying to push her off.
She's stacking her here. To be honest, I don't see very much damage coming at the moment. She's defending very well. Kayleen's in a dominant position. Bridget's looking to try to get out. There's some better punches now. Kayleen improving her position.
There are those hammer fists we saw in the early rounds. And what's been a common theme in this fight is Narcisse turning it on toward the end and actually gaining the upper hand. It's going to be tough to do here.
There by Bridget. She's looking to attack an ankle now.
Maybe we spoke too soon. Narcisse trying to reverse.
Well, she's trying to attack an ankle. This is a toe hold right here.
Medeiros again right to the midsection with a series of left hands. Now turns over. 48 seconds to go in the fight.
I am incredibly impressed with Bridget Narcisse in this fight. There's 30 seconds left, and she's diving in for a toe hold. Diving in for an ankle lock. Desperately trying to finish this fight. This is what MMA is all about, in my opinion.
You said it best, Scott. Tough as they come. Bridget Narcisse, what an effort, win or lose. And really for both fighters, too, we should say. 19 seconds to go. Heading down the home stretch here in this flyweight bout.
Kayleen's doing a good job defending. She has her own legs figure forward, and that's how you defend against that. She's doing a great job. She's going to ride this out from top position.
And that'll do it. The bell rings. What a fight in the flyweight division between Bridget Narcisse and Kaylee Medeiros. All action from start to finish. Tremendous effort on both sides. Hard to say who won, Scott. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. That's what we have the judges for. But a great effort on both parts. Both sides celebrating.
Excellent fight. Nice, just a beautiful fight.
And the crowd roars with approval here from Twin River Casino, and sure, why not? It was
Very
an
exciting fight.
Excellent fight. Everything we expected from Kaylee Medeiros. She came out with nothing to lose, just reckless abandon from the opening bell, and Bridget Narcisse really hung in there.
Pro debut, she looks like she belongs here, boy.
And she showed a lot of poise toward the end of each round, despite being exhausted. From what we saw at times, she was able to reverse, get two big takedowns toward the end of each of the first two rounds. A more dominant effort in the third round by Kaylee Medeiros. So really, it comes down to how the judges scored the first two rounds to see who won this fight. It's going to be interesting to see, but a great effort. You can see the wear and tear on the faces of both fighters.
Absolutely.
Kaylee Medeiros inflicting a ton of damage to the body in that third and final round from the mount position. Bridget Narcisse again hung in there as she did through the entire fight. Neither side has anything to be ashamed of. This is a great fight. We're going to send it down to our cage side announcer, Adam Palazzo, to get the official decision.
Fight fans, how about one more round of applause for both these fighters? After three tough rounds, we go to the scorecards. Judge Wayne Leamer has it 29-28. Judge Paul Asmer has it 29-28. Judge Jason Randolph has it 29-28. Your winner by unanimous decision, Kaylee Medeiros!
With CES MMA opening the doors to the cage for women and also creating new stars in the men's division, one man took over the CES MMA cage in very impressive fashion and was looking to jump to the worldwide stage in a hurry. Current UFC lightweight contender Charles Boston Strong Rosa.
We did a phenomenal job, very gifted fighter. I think he's a Florida transplant. Charlie LaRosa fighting out of American Top Team, out of Delray, Florida, in the black trunks. And we have Steve McCabe fighting out of Philadelphia in the red and black trunks. You can see Charlie now looks like more of a Taekwondo stance, a very bladed, bouncy stance.
Reminds me a lot of Steve Thompson. Steve Wonderboy Thompson.
Oh, nice left hand. Great straight punches, pouring it on. Fantastic job by Charlie Rosa. And then he hits the single for a takedown. He came out guns blazing, feet underneath him, good balance. Was able to throw 5-6 punch combination and then get his fighter to the ground. A couple of short punches as he has his opponent pinned against the fence.
Steve needs to be careful of his neck here.
Can't quite see from this angle, but it does look like Charlie Rosa is going to try to attack that guillotine. The best thing Steve can do from this point is try to explode up and come out the back door. He's got to get off that knee, though. He has to work his way up and try to get out that back door.
I'd like to see him, get his head uncovered and bring it to the center of the chest. I feel like any kind of dramatic movement at this point with his neck tied up could be dangerous, especially because it seems like Charles is waiting to pounce on that opportunity. He's kind of looking for it. He's setting it up. Now he's going to lift up and start to deliver some damage with some strikes to get him active.
Right back to it then, too.
Exactly. Recapture the neck.
He jumped that. He's looking at it. Is that a 10-finger he's trying to put on?
It's a version of a Peruvian necktie.
Wow, it's an inverted Peruvian necktie. I don't know how else to explain that. Do you have a better?
That's exactly what it was. A Peruvian necktie. He rolled through a little bit. That's you could see he was setting it up. He was very patient with the move.
Yes, he was.
And like I said, anytime your head is tied up, you should stop and notice.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a good look at the last two fighters you just seen. Andre, the Asian sensation Sokomov, and Charles Rosa. Might not see them around here too much longer.
Finally tonight, we close the show with another current UFC star. From CES MMA Gold Rush, here is Boston's own Rob Font, fighting Connecticut's Chris Foster in the first ever CES MMA Featherweight Championship fight. Thanks again for joining us, and see you next time. But right now, here is your main event of the evening.
Main event. And now, introducing the principals. First, in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with red. He weighed in for this title bout at 144 pounds. His professional record, 7 wins, only 2 losses, 4 big wins coming by way of knockout. Representing DCNU BJJ and fighting out of Meriden, Connecticut, please welcome Chris Cassius Foster. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, is wearing black trunks. He also tipped the scales at exactly 144 pounds. He climbs into the cage with 6 professional wins, just 1 loss. Those wins include 2 submissions and 1 knockout, representing Team Sitjog Tong and fighting out of North Reading, Massachusetts. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Rob Font. 5 5-minute rounds for the vacant CES MMA featherweight title.
Here we go, Scott. The build-up has been going on for quite some time, and what we know about CES is they don't just give out belts to give out belts. These fights always mean something. This will be the 3rd title handed out in CES MMA history tonight. Rob Font in the black, Chris Foster in the black with the red trim.
Nice stiff jab. I remember the first time we had nice rear teep to the face. Remember the first time we saw Foster, the nickname Cassius, we said, well, I wonder if his hands can right, and they absolutely do.
Absolutely. Rob Font said coming into this fight, the one thing he has noticed about Foster is he does have his 2 losses by submission, so his quote was, there are some holes in his game, and it's his job to try to exploit that. We'll see if he can. And of course, Font, tremendous boxing, tremendous stand-up. We saw it against Almeida, we saw it against Cruz.
Yeah, his Muay Thai is very good. And you know, it's funny because you see the kicks coming right now. Rob's relaxed. Both these guys are just, they're not feeling out. They want to sting. They want to be the first guy to hurt the other one. iron knee. Comes right back to stiff jab. Font with an overhand right that landed. He starts pumping the jab again.
Keep throwing that jab. Font describes that as his best weapon, and we've seen it in his 2 previous fights with CES.
Well, you also see one of the things that Rob's nice overhand was a little long, but it was well placed. One of the things that the jab does to Font, and a lot of guys, but Font particularly, is it sets his timing, sets his tempo for him, and that's how he relaxes. Whether he's landing the jab or not, he's throwing it, and that's setting his rhythm. Nice stiff jab, both fighters.
Foster got the better of that exchange. Font backpedaling a bit.
Absolutely. Now Foster too is also the one pressing the action here, which is kind of falling into what Font is good at. Font's good at slipping and counterpunching. You almost, if Foster starts having a hard time finding Font, you might want to back off a little bit and make the counterpuncher come forward. Nice straight, stiff jab by Foster. Now he's loosening up.
And all of a sudden, Foster flipping the jabs, at least what we expect from Font, and Foster trying to beat him at his own game early in round number 1.
Now you see Foster's guards right up. Anytime that Font comes in with something, I won't call it winging it, he just comes in with a little extra effort on it, Foster's ready for it. Font's doing much better when he's laying back, picking him apart. Foster trying to hit that single leg, grabs the rear ankle for the pick, and he's trying to finish this takedown. Font's doing a good job against the cage, trying to get up, but he's giving up his back. Foster's going to loosen him up with a couple of punches here to try to get under his neck. Watch the rear elbow coming from Font any minute now. Again, Foster pushing for that double. Font defending. Now he switches to the single. Nice short elbows. Nice short elbows. Wrist control to a short elbow. And he steps through and he answers with a knee on the break. Well done.
Nice exchange on the way up. 1.5 minutes to go in round number 1. Font Foster for the CES MMA featherweight title.
Nice switch. He faked the switch kick, went with an uppercut off it. It was well called.
Uppercut and flying knee on the way in, and another one.
Cassius is a little overwhelmed and hurt right now.
Foster's in trouble.
He needs to go to the body. There's the elbow.
He's down. He may be out.
This could be it.
It's over. Rob Font is the new CES MMA featherweight champion, stopping Chris Foster in round number 1. A tremendous dynamic barrage to finish the fight, Scott.
Phenomenal. And he faked a switch kick and came in with the uppercut. It was beautiful. That's where the Muay Thai came in, and he found his tempo. And like we said, when he was sitting there and he was moving around and he was pushing that jab, pumping that jab, that set his tempo.
I believe a left-right combo, that right uppercut is the first one that did the damage and really...
If you watch, we'll go back to it, it was off the switch kick. He'll take his front leg and bring it back, make you think that a switch kick or a knee's coming, and then he throws the uppercut.
Well, we knew Rob Font had the striking ability. Here it is, Scott.
You should watch the left leg, switches, boom. He comes in with the uppercut. What the switch kick did is it froze Foster up, and he thought the kick was coming, and Font snuck that uppercut right in. Nice short elbow there. He continues the ground and pound. Excuse me, he continues pound and standing. It looks like ground and pound.
Certainly
and then
does.
he shortens up a real short elbow to finish him off. You see it coming right here. Bang, he's got the guy's guards up, Foster's guards up. Well, there's your short elbow, and that's all she wrote.
That last right elbow is the one that dropped him for good.
The knee definitely grazes, but you can see these shots hitting. Foster starts to cover up, and then you see Font switch a little bit right here. There's the knee, go back to the body, short elbow over the top.
At that point, he was out.
Well done by Rob Font.
Rob Font with a tremendous victory, capturing the CES MMA Featherweight Championship. Tremendous finish. Really, you saw the superior stand-up ability. You saw the switch kick that you pointed out, the right uppercut that really started the onslaught.
Yeah, he faked the switch kick. When he faked that, he never threw it, but it locked his opponent up, and that uppercut just really was right on the chin.
And you saw his versatility on display too, mixing in the short elbows, short punches, uppercuts, flying
knees. And then
knees.
the knee, he brought the knee into the body as well.
Let's send it down to Bill Carpenter.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bout comes to an end at 4 minutes and 1 second of the first round. Referee Kevin McDonald stops the fight. Your winner by TKO. And now, the CES MMA featherweight champion, Rob Font. Presenting Rob Font with the title belt is CES MMA middleweight champion, John Doomsday Howard.